So I'm a big believer in telling stories close to home. And so I was living in Moose Jaw for a little while, and there was always rumors that Al Capone may have come to Saskatchewan, may have been in Moose Jaw. Al Capone famously said he didn't know what street Canada was on, and I think he said that kind of sarcastically. I think he did know what street Canada was on, and a lot of his alcohol was coming from Canada. Finding Al was my first independent documentary. I was always curious whether that tunnel story was true and if Al Capone had ever been to Moose Jaw. When we started interviewing people, we started filming around Moose Jaw, we started filming around Saskatchewan, looking for those Al Capone stories that connect him to this part of Canada.
If Al Capone came to Moose Jaw, this is where he was hiding, and he wasn't wanting anybody to know about it.
He could get on the train and come here. There was tunnels from the train stations directly to hotels. He didn't even have to ever be seen, which is probably one of the reasons why he wasn't seen. He was here to hide.
Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan. They say back in the 1920s that Al Capone used to come by here.
They used it as a spotter house for people who wanted to run the border. Ones in the house would signal them to come when the coast was clear. And why they picked this area to run the border, I don't know.
So it's just been interesting learning all the history and the backstory behind Prohibition and how Al Capone made his fortune.
The research that I did into the outfit, and that was what my grandfather called their business operation. And their business operation was gambling, alcohol, and prostitution.
The men of that time practiced something called omerta. You know nothing. Don't talk to nobody. You didn't see anything. He wanted to be a big shot and introduce the distillers that were up in Canada to other prospective buyers. And everything, of course, is in cash. People would bring it down in the middle of the night.
Where he settled, why he was motivated to do what he did, and it also lends truth to the rumor that he was not only a rum runner, but also perhaps, hasn't come right out and said, connected to Al Capone.
Interesting. Leon, where are we headed? We're heading to Chicago, baby.
So this gives rise to the bootlegger. You know, that term comes from the South. These guys go up in the hills at night. They make whiskey by the light of the moon. They call it moonshine. Take little sample bottles, stick them in their boots, take them with them to church on Sunday, pass it around, give everybody a little sample, start taking orders. Hence the term bootlegger.
So it's been a lot of work trying to find those personal connections, and also it's been a lot of work searching the archives, looking for evidence that might connect Al Capone to Canada.
There's many stories that Al Capone came from Chicago here.
An older gentleman kind of shared a story about working as a young lad in this hotel on River Street, and he said to me he saw Al Capone because that's a hotel he would come and visit when he came to River Street in Moose Jaw.
And there are real tunnels that are really all throughout this whole area, aren't
Absolutely. There's definitely a grain of truth to these stories. There's no doubt in my mind that there was a lot of fun stuff going on around in Moose Jaw.
From the machine gun you can see behind me, we're entering some serious bootlegging country.